Hello, this video is for Israel only. So today is Tuesday, the 25th of June 2024. And so, yeah, I'd just like to say, hello, a warm hello to all the Chachamim and the elders of Israel who watch my videos here. Yeah, I just wanted to do a video in general, as very soon you're gonna be moving forward, with Hezbollah, if you like. And so I know that you're going to be doing the Sidon Bible prophecy, which I have already prophesied to you recently, in recent times. And of course, in the mix of these, you have to consider Isaiah 17.1 and also the Elam Bible prophecy found in Jeremiah 49, because these three prophecies, are the provocation that is needed to trigger the Ezekiel word of 38, 39. So, not that this is provocation on your part per se, but it's just that you're fulfilling Bible prophecy according to the will of God. Now then, I got some, a page here, and I'm gonna go on some of the points. Now, you need to realize, Israel, that every time I prophesy to you, or even when I do videos like this, pardon me for a sec, just a pipe of hell. That yeah, that God is always watching me, because I'm a prophet, and so God is in His throne right now, watching me, and He always rewards me, every time I prophesy to you, and even when I do videos like this for you, the fact that I have prophesied everything for you, and everything is set in stone in the Star of David, then that this is all true, because otherwise God wouldn't have come to me and said, hey, the prophecy about me, I'm going to take you out and you're going to serve me in heaven. So of course it's a good indicator to me, feedback from God that all along I was on the right track. Pardon the noise, Israel. I'm in a park here, there's noise from over there somewhere. And yeah, and I prophesied to you, Israel, a while back, saying to you that my prophetic mission statement is to confirm with you what you already know. And so I have already achieved this. I have confirmed with you what you already know, so that you might be sure-footed in carrying out your plan. Your plan is now prophetic, and you are to layer this as it is written in order to fulfill the word of God. And those are the exact words that I used, a little while back when I prophesied to you this. And so I have proven this to you, and you know that I'm a major prophet. Now, uh, of course, regarding me as a prophet, I wanted to sort of talk about this as well, because I know that the church people keep good records and things like that, and I don't want it to be any mistakes, about me. So early on, I had two anointings as a prophet. The first one was that God was using me to prophesy to you, Israel, and also to the church as well, both at the same time, or simultaneously, if you like. Prophesy to you, Israel, about Malachi 3.1, the 144,000, of course, the rapture of the church. Now, I want to talk about the rapture of the church, and many others, of course. If you look on that list in the Star of David, God's one-day war of Ezekiel 38, 39. The secret earthquake, which is very important, because it's not that God is going to destroy Israel with that earthquake. He's not going to destroy Jewish homes. You are His people, so it's to do with the mountains. So you need to understand that part. But anyway, just regarding the rapture of the church, so I have prophesied this correctly. Because of God's big reward, I'm going to take you out, and you're going to serve me in heaven. So everything that I said, prophesied to you, and that is on the Star of David, is set on stone, and think of it as Moses' two tablets of the Ten Commandments. So there you go. And I've proven to you that with everything that I prophesied to you, that I'm right with all of this. But just getting back to the rapture, then before I go any further, the fact that you didn't trigger the rapture of the church, people, Bible scholars have missed the boat on this all over the world, and there will be very few, Bible decipherers. Very few. I probably count them in two hands. I don't know the exact numbers, but there is very Bible scholar decipherers who can decipher Bible prophecies like you, Israel, and I can, with pretty much pinpoint accuracy, because we cannot have prophetic chaos. And the fact that everybody is saying that the rapture of the church is needed, that nothing is needed for the rapture of the church and that it can happen at any moment. Of course, this is a heresy, because the Bible is full of impending and infant Bible prophecies, but it's just that people don't understand this. They don't understand that the rapture is actually, a process of the end times. And, I'm lucky, I'm very lucky, Israel, because God made me a prophet and He's given me, a lot of knowledge to decipher all the big time prophetic events and also Bible prophecies. So now I can decipher for you, before I get back to the church, rapture of the church. I have decipher for you from the rapture of the church all the way to the millennial kingdom and everything in between. So this has been my prophetic mission, so that you know everything. Unlike the prophets of the past, who the four major prophets like Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel, and so on, Jeremiah, who were writing prophets. I'm different to them in that my mission has been to decipher the end times for you. That's not to say that I wasn't a writing prophet. Yes, I was. I prepared speeches when God was layering knowledge, for me to come and prophesy to you, but not to the point of prophesying like, the four major prophets, but nonetheless, I prophesied to you a lot of things on that list. On the start of, give me one sec, on the start of David, and all my biblical decipherings. So, but the fact that you haven't triggered the rapture of the church, it says a lot, Israel, that you and I are on the right track on this, that we understand that it's not imminent, we cannot have prophetic chaos, and that of course you need to trigger the rapture of the church after the third temple. Now, of course, the third temple should be rebuilt. I'll get back to the rapture in a moment with what I was going to say earlier, but after the third temple, that's when you need to trigger the rapture, but after the Ezekiel War of 38, 39, that's when you should be rebuilding the third temple anyway. But, I've done so many videos, and this is the point that I wanted to make earlier, that regarding my true anointings as a prophet, is that, God had me prophesying to you, Israel, and to the church, and I've done so many videos, and I know that a lot of pastors watch my videos, and they will say, oh, nothing is needed, just going against God, and that angered me, because I did more than 100 videos, and I know that a lot of pastors will watch me, and they will keep, going against God, and saying, oh, nothing is needed, it can happen at any moment. And so I said to God, okay, I had enough, I went to God in my wrath, but I said to God respectfully, please forgive, my anger on this. I've done more than 100 videos, and, the church, it's just mocking me as a prophet, and of course, as a result of it, they're also mocking God, and, I just wanted to move on, and I said to God, please turn me around and let me prophesy to Israel. And that was my second anointing. Like, from when I went to God, in my wrath, and I said, enough is enough. It only took 3 weeks. So for the first week that I can remember back then God allowed me to sort of like, appease my anger to calm down in the first week. And then in the second week, He began to layer the knowledge. And then on the third week, I prophesied, but during that transition period between the second and the third, I knew that, as God was layering the knowledge, I began to take notes, of course. And I said to you that it is righteous that you fulfill the end times now. I knew then that God didn't put me under any pressure whatsoever. He just left it completely up to you. If you want to be a prophet to Israel, then you have to be big time, because the Jewish people require a sign, and if you're gonna prophesy to them, it's going to be big, because there is God, and then there is also Israel, and so prophesying takes a lot of courage, because not only do you have the fear of God, but you also have the fear of Israel, because think about the prophets of all, and so of course I'm aware of this, but you only get one opportunity to be a prophet. So I had two anointings, and so I don't prophesy to the church anymore. I prophesy to you, Israel, but nonetheless, I did a video for everyone, for out of mercy, I did a video entitled "Getting Comfortable with the Rapture Talk," which was for you, Israel, and also for the church. But I don't do any more videos about the rapture, because Israel, my point of view, and God knows that I'm right, because He has rewarded me with "I'm going to take you to heaven to serve me in heaven." So I know that everything that I have said is right. You know that I'm right, because you see, Israel, our interest, Israel, is of course, uh, for the Messiah, for Jesus to come out, who is the real Messiah, to come out as soon as possible. But of course, you cannot get into prophetic chaos. Whilst this is not at any moment. This is a process, like I just said earlier. And very few people understand this. It'll be, you can count them probably in two hands, the people around the world who are probably, very good Bible decipherers. And it's actually a credit to you, Israel, how you were able to, I know that how you were able to decipher the rapture of a church, because it's not easy, and and all these other prophecies too, which people have completely missed the boat. No one understands this. They're talking about Psalm 83, when Psalm 83 has got nothing to do with what's happening there. It's to do with Ezekiel 28, the Sidon Bible prophecy. So everyone's missed the boat. Very few Bible scholars truly understand the end times. Sound like it because I'm a prophet, and God is using me now to prophesy to you. But mind you, not that God has said, this to me, God has given me a prophecy about me. I have never been scared, more scared in my life when God came to me on that night. Then, I said to God, that, He needed to anoint my mantle, because God and I are working together to rise a mature prophet for the second tribulation period, second half of the tribulation period. So, you yourselves, Israel, need to anoint a mature prophet in the second half of the tribulation period, when Moses and Elijah leave. Of course, all my processes for you are already set in stone in the Star of David, so you have a list to go on there. But so yeah, you Israel, I have confirmed with you, everything that I have said to you. That I know, the whole prophetic front. I'm here to confirm with you what you already know, so that you might be sure-footed in carrying out your plan. And your plan is not prophetic, because I have already prophesied this to you, and God has already rewarded me. And so you have a plan, and you need to carry out, the plan of God, because God is watching. He's watching me say these things now to you, and He's also in the midst of you. He's watching you as well. Let me just turn around to make sure that there's no people watching me, because this is very sensitive information. So, I don't pass this on to anyone. I try to get away from people and things like that, because I'm here to serve you, Israel. So let me just put my hand in my pockets to get my bit of notes. So yeah, let me just sit down now. I just got to make sure that no one hears this. Just walkers going past, if you like. Sorry about the background noise. When I came here, it was quiet. I thought that it would be all right. So I guess I just wanted to say that you are on the right track, prophetically speaking, and it's a real credit to you. how your deciphers, if you like, have managed to decipher this correctly. Because I, as a prophet and also as a decipherer, it's extremely difficult to decipher Bible prophecies with a great deal of accuracy. It's very, very hard, even though I get a lot of knowledge from God, and all the big things that I decipher for you was knowledge from God, and all the middle ones, and perhaps even some of the small ones, God will have given me some knowledge, to push things along. But all the knowledge has come from God, especially how I decipher all the big time biblical events. So, like I said, from the rapture to the millennial kingdom. So, but yeah, you're on the right track, and and this proves that the prophecy that God has given me, about me, that He's going to take me out. It proves that everything that I have been saying is right. Why else God will want me in such a big manner? I mean, every time I have prophesied to you, God has always rewarded me, big time. So, anyway, moving along then to the next point. So, yeah, just got most of the points here, and yeah, I just have to say that all the prophets in the past, they are actually national heroes for Israel in God, not in themselves, but in God. Because God has sent all the prophets in the past and myself here precisely at the perfect timing. For them to prophesy all these things to you. And thank God that He sent me, because I'm pretty sure that you must have probably had some doubts about maybe the rapture, when to trigger it. Of course, I told you many times that you got to do this once the third temple is finished. um, you need to come out of Israel to talk about peace and safety with your partners, and the other entity needs to confirm the covenants per Daniel 9:27, and talk about peace amongst yourselves, and then this will trigger the rapture of the church. For when they talk about peace and safety, then sudden destruction. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 3. So so yeah, I guess you Israel, you probably have some doubts, but the fact that God has sent me as a prophet to prophesy all these things for you, and also you in Sidon, then you know that you are on the right track. And so that's what I'm here for, to clear the air and say to you, Israel, that you are on the right track with everything. And it's actually quite astonishing that you are on the right track, because, like I say, people are missing the boat on all these big end time Bible prophecies. And on top of that, it's extremely difficult to decipher all these things, extremely difficult. When God helped me with the knowledge of the millennial kingdom, that was like the hardest biblical deciphering that I ever did. The millennial kingdom, that took, in my head, when God was giving me the knowledge, I had to compute like a lot of prophecies, putting them together on my mind, holding on. Then in my mind, in my thinking, was trying to decipher the order, and yeah, that was a breakthrough. I thought, yeah, God stretched me to the ultimate limits on the millennial kingdom, that this would have required, I was saying to myself, in honesty, at least someone with the IQ of Albert Einstein times two, I thought to myself, because, and not that I'm like that at all, but of course, that God gave me the knowledge on this, but yeah, it stretched me to the absolute limits and beyond. The millennial kingdom, that was like the biggest biblical event that I ever deciphered. And yeah, the rapture of the church was number two, but it wasn't as complicated as that. The thing with the rapture is that when I began to decipher it, when God began to give me the knowledge, then I did this in stages, in two main stages, because back then I didn't know much about the Bible. I was studying the Bible, and so God was teaching me the Bible as I was deciphering. It wasn't until I thought to myself, if I find those third temple Bible prophecies, I'm dying. And one day I did. I got into Isaiah chapter 2, and I found that, wow, game over. When I saw Isaiah chapter 2, bingo, I got the rapture deciphered, Anyway, moving along to the next page, Israel. Um, so yeah, I told you about my two anointings. I told you about the Star of David. All that is set in stone now. And now I want to talk about Genesis 12:3. If there's one thing that I learned as a prophet Israel about Genesis 12:3, I will bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you, and in you all the nations of the world will be blessed. That applies to everyone. That applies to everyone, Israel, including the Jewish people. And that applies to from the smallest things to the largest things. That applies to everything. And I've seen a lot of examples of this, a lot. And it even applies to the Jewish people. It even applies to the Jewish people. Those Jewish people that bless, their brothers and sisters, that bless, the Israel and other Jewish people, they will be blessed. But if the Jewish people curse other Jewish people and the nation of Israel, they will also be cursed. And I learned this as a prophet. So I guess this is one of the things that I wanted to pass on, that the blessing of Abraham, it is just so powerful. And I just tried to rest my arm holding the phone. It might be shaking a bit because it's getting tired, but I learned this as a prophet, that the blessing of Abraham works from the smallest things to the biggest thing, and it applies to everyone, including the Jewish people. And I learned this as a prophet, and I've seen examples, Israel, and so I wanted to pass this information to you. And so what is my standing right now? Well, I'm in mourning, of course. That I kind of like about to finish. I'm just gonna move over here. Just gonna wait for someone to go past. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of like in mourning, because yeah, the prophecy about me, from God. Um, and so yeah, you just you wait. And of course, I asked God to anoint my mantle. So I don't know what's next. And I don't know if I'm going to be prophesying to you again, Israel. Because, yeah, when you ask God to anoint your mantle, it's, you're kind of like, moving on. I guess I'll still look at the Bible and try and decipher a few things here and there. It might not be to the great extent that I used to, because when God came to me on that night, I was kind of like having a pizza and I had a glass of wine, but I was fully conscious and fully aware of everything. Only a glass. I'm not talking about glasses. I don't over drink or anything. Just something to relax. And I just went to bed, just kind of like sulking, because I was thinking to myself, I think I decipher everything big, and I don't have pretty much nothing left, And I was sad about that because I wanted to serve God in a big way, And so I was talking like to God, but not directly, but sort of also in my own thoughts. And I didn't think that, God would be hearing. And I was saying to God, but, in my own thoughts, not directly talking to Him, but also talking to Him at the same time. But in my thoughts, I was saying, I'm really sad, that, I won't be able to serve God big, like I have been not only prophesying, but deciphering big time Bible prophecies, because it gave me so much joy when I decipher, big Bible prophecies, or big prophetic events. And so, yeah, God came to me, and He said, I'm going to take you out. I want you to serve me in heaven. That was His word. And it wasn't just, what He said, but it's how the words come out. It was like He was devouring me. It was like that. Like His words were actually eating me, and they got bigger and bigger as He was saying that. It was kind of like a devouring, like that. And I thought, wow, I thought I was gone that night, And I said to God, like, I'm not ready. Of course I regretted this, but I said to God moments later, okay, take me out now. And the next day when I got up, I said to God as well, I said my prayers, and then God, yeah, I'm ready, and but yeah, now I got to live with this prophecy about me, Israel, so yeah, it's exciting, it's a promotion, and I'm ready, but God give me strength to be in His presence and also in the presence of Jesus, because I have tasted, the power of God, and as a prophet, you know, uh, you know, um, I have had, many miracles with God, in my prophesying and my biblical decisions with all the knowledge and getting me to prophesy to you and things like that. So I have experienced many miracles, and but nothing big. Sorry about the sirens just going past. Yeah, but nothing big like God said to me, I'm going to take you out. That, that's something, and yeah, I guess it took me like a couple of weeks to come to terms with it and then say that to you. And it's easy for me to, when God, gets me to prophesy to you, Israel, begin now or fulfills it on and so on. But, when you got a prophecy about you, and you got to count it. And the way that God came to me, it's, yeah, it's, it's quite something. And I was just, you know, 1 week after God said that, I said to God, anoint my mantle, just buying time, because I needed to come to terms. And, even when I come to you, it took a lot of courage. Like, there's only very few pastors that I watch on YouTube, one of them being, Jonathan Kahn. What an amazing pastor he is, that man should be a prophet, and it was actually watching some of his videos that actually gave me the courage to come and say this to you, to prophesy this to you, because I was saying to myself, I don't know whether I should tell this to Israel or not, but then I thought, if I had the courage to do this or not, that God is going to reward me big time, and of course you need to know, because, I'm your prophet, and you're going to be wondering, what happened to a prophet here, so, I was just trying to find the right time, and I think that, by watching Jonathan Kahn, on his videos, I got over the line, so to speak, but, I would say about Jonathan Kahn, that man is amazing. Like, to me, he's the best that I've seen, out there on YouTube, as a pastor, as a rabbi. He's amazing, and he speaks, to the level of a prophet. And I always said to myself, this man, you know, when you're a prophet, when Jonathan Kahn does his sermons, it's I completely understand. He's like music to my soul. I completely understand him, but I said to myself, I wonder if people could understand his high spiritual sermons, because very few people will truly understand what he's saying. I completely understand him, because I'm a prophet. Because a prophet, you gotta love God, a lot. You gotta have a high level of faith. Loving God and having faith go hand in hand when you're serving God. And I would say to myself, I wonder if people understand this man, because he speaks at a very high level, to the level of a prophet. And he, um, you know, he would be a perfect candidate to be a prophet. I don't know if he is or not, but maybe he should ask God to be a prophet himself, like I did. I went to God. I said to God, I want to be a prophet, but I didn't know much about the Bible, and so. But I guess this, God prepared this. God help me on the silence, if you like, for this hour. But he's an outstanding rabbi, Jonathan Kahn, and I also listen to Pastor Tim Henderson. I like Tim Henderson. He's very old school, good values. Just like Rabbi Jonathan Kahn. I only get upset when Pastor Tim, says that the rapture of the church is imminent. but I forgive him because you know maybe he doesn't know any better, and but nonetheless he's awesome. Those are my two favorites. And also, yeah, Robert Brecker as well. I think he's a pretty good teacher. For especially for the beginners. I actually learned a lot from him in my early days. But the first pastor that that I guess I want to pay homage to is actually Pastor Dr. Todd Fink from Holy Landside. He was the first pastor that I saw on YouTube that in which I learned a lot from, and watching him on YouTube became my transition, to become a prophet. So there's very few people that I watch on YouTube, but I think that Jonathan Kahn is, really, really good. And yeah, he speaks at a level of a prophet. He's amazing. So yeah, so I think he got me over the line, to to sort of like do the video, So now Israel. So yeah, I guess this is all I wanted to say. And just let me just check the list on one more point that I got on the back page here, and I'll finish. Yeah, I guess I just want to finish by saying that I'm mourning God. You know, yeah, it has been an amazing experience being a prophet. You know, uh, when I was young, I used to watch Charles Heston in the Ten Commandments, and I used to get good goosebumps. I used to say to myself, life is not worth living without being a prophet. Uh, and that's what's in my soul. Life is not worth living without being a prophet. That's what I'm going to say. Um, and I can see why God, wants me to serve Him in heaven, because I think that in my soul I'm made for this, to serve God, because I think otherwise I'm gonna be having like a missing void, like an empty hole. So I think that I'm made for this, for this task. So yeah, But yeah, I just wanted to say that it's has been like an easy run compared to the other prophets. Of course, I'm a mature prophet. I had two anointings, and I prophesied to you, Israel. Big things. It is righteous that you fulfill the end times. Begin now, do the Sidon prophecy, and so on. And in the midst of that, I decipher all the big time biblical events, from the rapture of the church to the millennial kingdom and everything in between. So yeah, this is of course the work of a mature prophet, but in different times, I guess, not as challenging as the former prophets of all, who had a difficult time, having to prophesy, but yeah, but nonetheless, it's been a challenge, deciphering everything, it's been quite a challenge. And you got to have a lot of courage to be a prophet, especially to Israel. It's not an easy task. Like, I wasn't put in a position to say you have to do it. It was like, I got the knowledge and then it's up to you. It was like, more or less come up to Mount Sinai, if you like, and then you walk them with the tablets, so to speak, and go from there, So, so yeah, God never put me under any pressure. It was up to you, So that was good, and yeah, I did that, and yeah, it takes a lot of courage, It's yeah, it's not easy, and of course, aside from that, you gotta get pretty much everything right, because uh, especially in the times that we are in now, in the end times, like. Your prophecies has to be, your prophesying has to be right on track. Your biblical decipherings too, because we cannot have prophetic chaos. I mean, people said that the rapture of the church is imminent, that nothing is needed. They want to raise their right hand and say, "So help me God." But imagine Israel. Of course, you don't listen to these people, but if we had a rapture of the church now, what happens? Moses and Elijah broke up in Israel immediately. They're going to be looking at each other, going like this: "Where is our third temple?" Not to mention that the other entity needs it for the, for the abomination of desolation. and of course Jesus will take over, for the millennial. But this is all a process, Israel, and you understand this just like I do. And everybody has missed the boat. Nobody, hardly no one understands anything out there. So it's only you, Israel, and I, the prophet. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I have enjoyed, prophesying. I don't know if I'm gonna prophesy again. Like I said, I asked God to anoint my mantle. That normally means, that the anointing then goes to someone else. But uh, nonetheless, God said to me that He's going to take me out. So I don't know if there's gonna be more prophesying. He didn't say to me, "How you're not going to prophesy anymore." He just said, "I'm going to take you out, and you're going to serve me in heaven." And so I asked Him to anoint my mantle. So, but and God and I are working together so that you just also anoint a much a prophet. For the second half of the tribulation period. The Jewish people. I said to God, you need to have mercy on those, desperate Jewish people in the second half of the tribulation period because they're gonna have to flee the dragon. And see, Israel, you have a guide in me confirming with you everything that you know, like I prophesied to you. I confirm with you my prophetic mission statement is to confirm what you already know, which I already did, so that you might carry on with what you know, the plan. As it is written, that the word of God be fulfilled, but as desperate Jewish people having to flee, the prophecies Israel very well. Yeah, these desperate people are going to be, desperate, And don't forget the 1/3 brothers and sisters, because we know this from Zechariah 13:8. Of course, God, it's sad, like 2/3, that's a lot. I haven't come to terms with that, but it's sad, when you have to mention that. But this is what the scriptures say, according to the will of God. And so yeah, none of this is easy, Israel. None of this is easy, fulfilling the end times is a credit to you how you are here today with all of this in the space of 100 years. I mean, it's how quickly where we are now. It's tremendous, and thank God that He sent me to confirm with you all of this, because I'm pretty sure that you will have your doubts, but so yeah, don't forget about the rapture after the third temple. When you're ready, you need to cause this, because the body of Christ is no longer needed here. We need to bring Jesus as soon as possible. So this is your mission, Israel, on your part, fulfilling. And I'm here as your guide, if you like, saying all these things to you. Let me just move because there's people here. Yeah. And I'm just here as your guide, Israel, to make sure that, you get this right, because, yeah, it's very important, that this is done right, or just finished up now, and that we don't have prophetic chaos. All right, thank you, Israel. Thank you, elders. Thank you, Chachamim, for watching, all my videos. I hope that I have been, a great help to you, as a prophet. I hope that, I have given you comfort, with my prophesying. And the good thing is that you have, the complete knowledge from A to Z, from the rapture all the way to the millennial kingdom. You know everything, plus everything in between that I have given you. So now you got the complete package, fulfill my duties. I'm still gonna decipher here and there, probably not as much as I used to, because I'm running out of things to decipher, Sometimes I said to myself, should I decipher this chapter or not? Because I don't know if you already know it, or if it's going to be, time wasting or things like that. But I look into things that are difficult, and see what I can decipher. All I have is now gleanings, already had the big harvest, so the harvest is done. It's just, little gleanings, lying around. But yeah, some of those are important nonetheless. So yeah, see what I can do in that area. So yeah, thank you, Israel, for your time here. Yeah, it has been an honor, to serve God and to serve you, Israel. Thank you for, being patient and everything. Yeah, so you know, yeah, just none of this is easy. None of this is easy, and I understand, the predicament that you're in. Um, you know, trying to, fulfill, all these things. It's not easy, yeah, it takes a lot of courage, and it's a sacrifice, it's a huge sacrifice, to do the work of God. But this is what we are here for, to serve God, and we got to keep moving on. And if I can finish up by saying this, Israel, that I prophesied to you. I said to you that begin now. Now, begin now means that you can't afford to stop. You gotta. This is now unstoppable until Jesus returns, because the fact that God gave me that order. I don't need for the noise. We just let it go. The fact that God gave me that order, when He said it to me, it was like in a military style order, telling to begin now. And that means now that you can't afford to stop. This has to go on. Keep the machine well oiled, Israel, until the return of Jesus. This is your job. And like I say, yeah, none of this is easy. None of this is easy. It's a lot of sacrifice, and just from a personal point of view, it saddens me, how Israel is so prosperous now and things like that. There's a lot of things that are hard to talk about. That I don't want to talk about, but our mission is to fulfill the will of God, and yeah, it does hurt. It's yeah, it's a big task. That's how I'm going to say it. It's a task that we got to fulfill regardless. And also as a prophet, it's a last time of sacrifice, because I know how God prepared me from when I was young for this as well, and I was in adversity, but all this was for this moment. I didn't know it then, of course, but it was preparation for this hour, and yeah, and also my family as well. The fact that we are here in Australia, we came from Uruguay, and yeah, it's a sacrifice, but yeah, like I said, none of this is Israel on your part or on my part, and it is what it is. But we are here to serve God. No matter how hard it is, we got to do it. It's in the Bible, and if it's in the Bible, we got to do it. We got to be strong in God. We got to move forward. We got to be heroes for God, and we're only gonna get one chance in this, Israel. That's why you need to be strong in God. You need to fulfill the end times. Be strong. Keep going. I know that none of this is easy, and it's not easy either being a prophet. I have to do a lot of work. There would be days where I would just stay home just for deciphering. I could have gone out like this to get a bit of sun or whatever, but I also sacrifice for God to stay home now, that I'm going to stay home and decipher a couple of, prophecies and things like that. And I enjoy that, because I knew that they were big time and that they will make a difference to you, and so, yeah, I also enjoy myself, doing this as well, especially when I decipher some of the biggest, Bible prophecies of all time. Some of them, that were not known to I came over, I'm pretty sure that no one was able to decipher the millennial kingdom like I have. I'm pretty sure. The rapture, yes, but the millennial, very doubtful, because that stretched me to the limits, and I'm talking about the absolute limits. That was kind of like the hardest, um, you know, deciphering that I ever did, and how that stretched me beyond my limits. I said to myself, I will hide to decipher another biblical event or Bible prophecy with a, with a difficulty grade of the millennial kingdom. That was like, consider yourselves lucky that, uh, you know, that God helped me along the way with, with the knowledge from that Bible prophecy, because that was like the hardest biblical deciphering ever. The rapture of the church, I did that kind of like comfortably. I got a lot of knowledge from God, and also the millennial kingdom as well. But the difference with the millennial kingdom was that, I'm probably repeating myself again very soon, but you just had to put so many prophecies, if you like, in your head all at the same time, having them on your mind without, forgetting them, and then executing them to make sure that they will be, that you will put them in the correct order. That was extremely difficult. Like that was, like I said, that would have taken twice an Einstein to do that. Of course, I'm not one. Of course, God helped me along the way, and with many other Bible prophecies. And but yeah, that was kind of like the biggest ever. And yeah, I don't think that I'll have to go through that again, because I think it can't get any bigger than the millennial kingdom. That was the toughest ever. I'm glad that I was able to decipher that for you. And you're probably wondering, why haven't I deciphered that? I wasn't able to. You probably thought to yourselves, when is this guy going to decipher the millennial? I mean, he's already done all these big end time prophecies like, Haggai and the Melchizedek and so on, and many others. But we're waiting for the millennial kingdom. I guess it came as a reward, And prior to when I deciphered that, I wasn't able to. It was too hard. But it came as a reward, that knowledge, when I said to you, you gotta do a lower my voice, Sidon, and not only did I get rewarded just on that one, but after I prophesied to you, Sidon, I think there was a period of 2 weeks when I did a lot of decipherings, and God gave me a lot of knowledge on those, not just on prophecy, but on some of the Psalms that I decipher as well, which of course, the book of Psalm is a book of prophecy, and so yeah, I was able to do a lot. And yeah, I thought to myself, I gotta decipher this, it's gotta be done, because Israel needs to have this knowledge for those desperate Jewish people, in the tribulation, I was saying to God, come on, God, give me the knowledge, because, it has to be done, like if I'd done everything else, that was only the big one, the other big one missing, the millennial, Thank God, Israel, that we got the knowledge from God on these and others, and all of them, and yeah, thank God that that's been deciphered now. Yeah, I guess I'm really happy and proud, that God gave me all these decipherings, So yeah, that's all I wanted to say, Israel. I'm catching my ferry back now to Sydney. Just wanted to get out, go for a bit of a walk. Beautiful day here in Sydney, as you can see on the background there. The skyline, nice and clear. Yeah, I just like to praise all the Chachamim. Thank you, Chachamim and the elders of Israel, because, just how you decipher this yourselves, and it's not easy, and I said to you earlier that it's only a handful of people, it's a credit to you, And the fact that I said to you, to confirm with you, like what you already know, it's, with a degree of difficulty that this takes, I like to commend, the Chachamim and the elders for deciphering all this because you're working for God, and of course we cannot have prophetic chaos. So, you all done very well. So I think we all done very well as a team, with the Hachamim, the elders, and me here at the church confirming all this with you guys, as a prophet from God. So yeah, it's been great. Look, if I don't prophesy to you again, it is because it is the will of God, and I respect that. Yes, I'm in mourning right now. Sometimes I watch John 8:32 when Ezekiel had visions of God by the river Kibar in the land of the Chaldeans. When he saw visions of God. Watching that video on YouTube, it's made me cry many, many times. Because now I'm just mourning for God, and why I can understand what Ezekiel the priest went through, when he had visions of God, because not to the great extent that he did, because he had visions of God, and he had a greater reward than mine. But the fact that God has said this to me, it's up there too, So I'm just in mourning, and God gave me strength, to be in His presence and in the presence of Jesus. It's quite scary thinking about these things too, but I guess God knows my soul, and He knows that I'm made for this kind of stuff. I'm ready, but I'm just worried about my family. I hope that they all get saved. I said to Jesus, please save them all. Let them all go after the rapture. I'm trying sort of like very gently, like just getting them to watch videos from Robert Breaker, but it's none of this is easy, but what do you do, so that's my only worry, that means there's 4 gonna be here and 4 up there in heaven. So that's my worry, I know that I have a big reward from God, but at the same time, I'm worried about my family too, it's kind of like, I don't want to use the word, no, I'm not going to say it either, out of respect for God, but on the one way you're happy, on the other you kind of like feel sad, that if God takes me out now, my other family, they're gonna miss me and all that, and so it's kind of like that, but this is the will of God, and you gotta be strong, you just you gotta have faith in God and just move forward, and what else can I do, Israel, so anyway, thank you for coming. Sorry for the long, almost 1 hour video. I guess I just wanted to get all these things off my chest, letting you know that you are on the right track, and there is a credit to you that you decipher this, and I'm here to confirm it all with you. And so I was a true prophet. I confirm with you what you already know, so that you might be sure-footed in carrying out your plan. Your plan is now prophetic. You are to layer this as it is written, in order that the word of God be fulfilled. These are the exact words, Israel, that I prophesied to you a little while ago. So it's as it is written, Israel. That's very important, because you cannot undo this and not overdo it, because then you're not allowing for the mercy of God. That's what I'm going to leave it at. It's you fulfill the end times, Israel. Be strong, fulfill the end times. Do it, of course, as it is written, in order to fulfill the word of God. And remember that you need to raise yourself a Maicha, prophet. I just let someone go past. need to raise yourself so much a prophet for the second half, and you know, to help us desperate Jewish people. It's gonna be tremendous. But um, everything is set in stone now. In the Star of David, all the prophecies will come to pass as they are there, according to the will of God. In Jesus' name, Amen. Okay, Israel, thank you for watching. Thank you to all the leadership of Israel. I don't know if they watch my videos. I'm pretty sure that the Hachamim and the elders of Israel will, because of course you are the leaders of Israel. So, but yeah, thank you all to the Hachamim, to the elders of Israel, and to the leadership of Israel. Yeah, be strong. None of this is easy. None of this is easy. I know it's a sacrifice, but we gotta do this for God. It's in the Bible, and that this is what God expects us to do. So yeah, it has been an honor to be a prophet. It's it's been like quite a challenge. But yeah, it's with the fear of God and everything else, and then fearing you as well. Whilst I'm prophesying, I have two fears: the fear of God and the fear of Israel. That's why this is not easy. But like I said, my mental has been anointed now, and it's in the Star of David, set in stone. So that's all I wanted to say, Israel. Yeah, thank you for your support. And for listening, and for taking this advice seriously. Because I'm your guide and your servant. Just like you have to serve God, I have to do the same thing, serve God. In prophesying. And you, Israel, you have the bigger job of feeling all this, which is it's enormous. But anyway, I put myself like this, or maybe like this. Yeah, just keep moving forward. Thank you, Israel. And it's been a pleasure. With everything, like it's been an honor having done this job. I'm not sure if I'll be back, but if not, then it has been an honor. It's not like look over all of Israel, and how many Jewish people are there in the world? Some people say between 15 and 18 million. I'm not really sure on the figures, Israel, but when I watch videos of Israel every day on YouTube. But when I look, all those people that go to the Western wall, and I live here in Sydney, Australia, and I have been, the chosen one. It's a much a prophet. You sort of like kick yourself. And yeah, like it's incredible. Yeah, it's an honor. Of course, all this comes from God. And yeah, many times, I guess if I go, and I promise I'll finish up this time. I watch videos of Israel, like every day, and always wanted to go there, especially as a prophet, because, I just like the countryside, all the history, I would like to go to the Western Wall, but, I said to God, you have honored me and everything, I said to God, a few times, is it okay if I tell Israel if they can sort of honor me by, bringing me to Israel, and even if it's just for a week, I just want to put my hands on the Western Wall and thank God for all of this, and God was very happy the 3 or 4 times that I said this to God. He was very happy, but it would be nice, but if you do this Genesis 12:3, or on behalf of God, as servants of God for me, like just for 1 week, but it's not, doesn't really matter anyway. Of course it does, but it doesn't matter in the sense that there's not much I can do about it, but I don't know if I'm gonna go there. So yeah, just I don't really know, but of course it'll be just a visit, But yeah, I guess I just leave it at that, It would have been nice, to go there at least for 1 week and put my hands on the Western Wall and just thank God. But there'll be plenty of time, in the in heaven and also, in the millennial kingdom. So I guess that's all I wanted to say. Israel, my ferry now is arriving, so I gotta get to my ferry. But thank you for watching. God bless you all. Be strong in God. None of this is easy, but it's all in the Bible, and all of us we gotta do our work. So thank you, Israel. Amen.